Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Good morning, everyone. Glad you could be here. Just give me a second to get my screen turned on. And I think there we go. Glad you could be here. Oops, let me just, one more thing here. Sorry, I should have had all this figured out before we get on. All right, very good. This is Paul McMahon from Forex Smart Trade. Glad you could be here. At Forex Smart Trade, we help people move to financial independence through currency trading with our proprietary indicators and best in the business training. So our goal this morning is to show how well our indicators work and to take a couple trades. We will be using two of the indicators that we show in our introductory program, one called the thick orange line indicator, the other called the 10-point trade, and see if we can find a trade this morning. As we know, let me pull up my let's pull up my daily trade routine. Like to start off with a review of what we did from our last session. And in our last session, we ended up taking 3 trades. 2 of them were the 5 pip thick orange line trades. We were actually able to get into because we took it a few minutes before the top of the hour. The one closed before we got off, so we took it again, and the second one closed. And then we took a 10-point trade with the New Zealand USD. Next, what we like to do is before we do any trading, we like to take a look at what the upcoming day's news is to see if there's any news that might impact what we are thinking about doing. So let's do that. We do that through forexfactory.com. Today is Tuesday, March 17th. I like to scroll through and look at the items in red. Items in red are likely to impact the market. This morning, 30 minutes ago, there was Germany issued some news. There's a European Union summit going on all day today. Generally on these are since it's not a specific news event, I will trade through them. This morning at 8:30, U.S. is going to announce core retail sales. So if we come across a thick orange line trade, we've got 2 hours till then. My thought would be that would close before this news. If it's a 10-point trade, we'll probably stay away from anything in the U.S. market. So let us start by we'll look for the 10-point trade. The 10-point trade attempts to use all 3 indicators: the majors and minors, the TNTs, and the pressure to give us a signal as to whether the trade is kind of ripe for if a trade is ripe, ready to go. Once we see the signal, then what we'll do is we'll open up a more detailed chart. The chart we're looking at right now is a composite chart, which shows us a bunch of different currency pairs all on a 1 hour basis. As new traders, we are trading on a 1 hour chart because we want to see some immediate results, and we can get immediate results off of a 1 hour chart. the indicators work the same off of any time frame chart. So if we see the signal, it's a good trade. The only difference is how many pips it's worth. So let's take a look. Euro US. So on this trade, I'm going to start with the majors and minors. I am going to look to see if they're either oversold or overbought. In this case, it's oversold. I'm looking for the indicators to be pointed up. Everybody pointed up and double crossed. I don't have that here. They're oversold, but they still haven't pointed up yet. Pound dollar, oversold, not pointed up yet. The minors are starting to point up. Majors still aren't there. We want everybody pointing up. Australian US dollar, oversold. So when I'm saying oversold, what that means is a lot of selling has gone on, and when the lines are down here, that means that we're expecting them to turn and go up. Once they turn, that becomes a trade, that becomes a signal that we can kind of ride the market all the way through to the other side of the channel. So you can see a lot of selling gone down, all these red candles. Overbought on dollar Swiss franc, still pointed up. And again, I would expect, since all of these currencies involve the US, that we're going to see a similar signal on all of them. So oversold, or excuse me, overbought, pointing up. Here we're in the middle of the channel. Dollar yen going up. When it's in the middle of the channel, I generally don't like to take a trade. I like to get in when it's either oversold and going up or overbought and going down. And then dollar Canadian, we are overbought, but we're not pointing down. Minors are pointing down, but the majors are going up. And this little, I don't know if you can see it here, this kind of looks like a duck's bill. Here's his eye and here's his bill. The duck bill usually suggests he's going to keep going up. So there's a little bit more up in this movement. But again, even though I know that, I don't take this trade because I want that high consistency of being able to get 9 out of 10 trades. So nothing on this pair. So we've got a second pair of currencies to take a look at that are non-US based for the most part. Euro pound, I'm in the middle of the channel. Australian yen, I'm oversold. Minors are pointed up, majors aren't ready yet. Euro Canadian, oversold, but not pointing up. Australian New Zealand, overbought, but not pointing down. Australian USD, oversold. Minors are starting to point up. Majors still going down. And Australia, Euro, Aussie, we're in the middle of the channel, and it looks like it's changing direction. So again, nothing there. So we're not having a very good morning here yet. Third set of prospects. Australian Canadian, oversold, pointing down. Swiss franc yen, oversold. Minors are pointing up, majors coming down. Euro yen, oversold, minors pointing up, majors coming down. Australian or pound, Australian, overbought, minors pointing down, majors not there yet. Now, if it were the other way around, if the majors had turned, even though the minors hadn't, I might still take a look at that, give it a little bit more consideration. But it's the majors who I'm more interested in. New Zealand Swiss franc, pointed down, and Canadian Swiss franc. We're in the middle of the channel, a little bit more than halfway. If this wasn't quite halfway, I might consider this guy as a potential trade. But already halfway through the channel, it's too much. So right now I didn't see a single 10-point trade. So let us go and see if we have a thick orange line trade. Thick orange line trade. On the thick orange line trade, we're looking for two signals. And the first signal is the number associated with the thick orange line, which is over here. This number is a scaled number. So when it's at the very top, it means it's at 0. When it's at the very bottom, it is at -100. When the thick orange line hits either 0 or -100, when it hits 0, that means there's no more up left in the movement, based on how we've scaled that number. When it's at -100, that means we don't believe there's any more down in the movement. So when it's at -100, that's a buy signal. But to increase our chances, we've got indicators that are measuring different things. We want some collaboration. We want something else that shows support. So -44 isn't 0 or -100, and it doesn't have to be exactly 0 or -100. We can be within 10 points of either end. -98, that's within 10 points of 0, -100. So since we see that, our collaboration is going to be, we want to see all four lines touching or below the red line. We have that here. On this trade, we don't really consider the pressure because it's such a quick, fast trade. We're going to be looking for 5 pips, and the timing of this trade is we take it when there's a few minutes left before the top of the hour. So right now, this TR up here, TR stands for time remaining. So it's telling me there's 16 minutes and 55 seconds left on this candle. We want the indicators to have at least 50 minutes of information here. So Great Britain pound USD, if this holds up for another 10 minutes, we will look at taking a 5 pip buy on that. So let's see what else we have. I'm just writing it down. We'll pound Australian dollar -72, no. It's not close enough to 0 or -100. -51, no. Dollar yen -73, no. And -89, that's close to -90, but our lines are up here. We want them down here below the red. If we want confirmation, that it's going up, that the market is oversold, and we don't have it here. So right now we've got the pound dollar. Let's see if we've got anything else. -51, no. -78, no. One of the nice things about the thick orange line trade is most of the work's been done for you. It's very easy to tell what this number is. It's very easy to tell where these lines are. And we know it's always good for 5 pips off of a 60-minute chart. So, whereas on the 10-point trade, we've got to do a little bit more analysis. So -79, no. -70, no. 0. All right, we've got the first condition on the AUD NZD. So now I'm going to look for confirmation. I get that confirmation by looking at my majors and minors. I've got 3 of the 4 lines touching. I want all 4 of the lines touching. The red line here has a little ways to go, so what that's telling me is there's going to be a little bit more of an up push on here till it gets onto the other side of the channel. Minus 84, no. Minus 30, no. So nothing on this group. We could come back and take a look at this and see where it is in 10 minutes, but I'm guessing he's not going to be up here. On the third group, minus 91, AUD, CAD. That is within 10 of minus 100, and I have all four lines below, oversold below the red. So AUD, CAD is a opportunity for a 5 pip trade. Buy. CHF, JPY, another opportunity. CHF, JPY, we're at minus 91, all 4 lines below. Another buy. Euro, JPY, he's close but not quite there. As we've already got a trade with the yen in it, we'll just stick with this guy. A pound, Australian dollar, minus 50 is not close enough. New Zealand, Swiss franc, minus 86, not close enough. And what is that? Canadian Swiss franc, not close enough. All right, so we've got 3 trades. We've got still a couple minutes here before we take the trades. Any questions while we're waiting a minute? I don't want to jump the gun because we could still get a little bit movement. The Swiss franc, yen, we could maybe jump in because he's already the miners have started to turn, but let's stay with the rule and do what we need to. That news from 6 a.m. that we saw, sentiment, and we've got this economic summit, seems to be giving us quite a push on the euro dollar. We have got a big move. In fact, let's see here. That's 149 pips in 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. 150 pip move. Usually, this gets a little bit beyond what we teach you, but usually when you have a big move like this, there is going to be some retracement. And this is called a Fibonacci. Fibonacci is he was a scientist from a long time ago, and he came up with these percentages, 38, 61, that things, it's found in a lot of nature. So we would expect a retracement to come back up to the 38% line. So when this does start to turn, we would expect him to go back up. But again, one mistake a lot of new traders make is because they think there's a big move, or because there was a big move, that it's going to turn. That's not necessarily the case. You need to wait till the indicator tells you that it's turning. don't pre-guess it. So we don't have the indication that it's turning yet. So let's go back to let's go back here. All right, so we're under we got less than 10 minutes left in the hour. Pound dollar minus 98, all four below. I'm going to go ahead and take a buy for 5 pips. To take the buy, I'm going to open up my CoinEx. Pound dollar. I go to the second line here to new order. I open up new order. The way I want to trade is I check my symbol. Pound dollar is correct. I need to adjust my volume. My account has got 80. This is a demo account. It's got $8,700 in it. So I am going to move my decimal place over 4 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to take a lot size of 0.87. So 0.87, and this is going to be a buy. It records the trade right under the charts. If I click anywhere along the line where it's recorded and it's showing me the order number, the time, what I did, the size, the pair, and the price I got in at, I need to tell it what my stop loss and take profit are. To do that, I right click, I go to modify. This trade is always good for 5 pips. So if I put 5 in here, that's 5 pips, but they're asking for it in points. To convert pips to points, I am going to add another 0. I click the blue copy as button, and it's done the math for me. And as a beginning trader, we are going to use 4 times whatever our take profit is for our stop loss. Stop loss is going to catch if we're wrong and it goes in the other direction. So if I have a 50-point stop loss or a 5-pip stop loss, I'm going to do a 200-point, take profit. I'm going to do a 200-point stop loss. On these, I like to always actually double check the math. So if I'm at 0.2112, I want to go to 0.2117. So 0.211, yeah, 2117. I'm adding 5 to that. What do we have? 0.21172. So I got the full 5 pips. So that is trade 1. Let's go to, let's go back. What happened to my green charts? There they are. All right. So that was 1. Number 2 was Australian Canadian. I don't see him anymore. What happened to him? Not here. Australian Canadian, minus 91. I've got all the lines below. So let's go ahead and take a 5 pip buy there. That is a chart that I don't have open. So file, new chart. Australian Canadian, not in this group. Let's look in this group. Not in this group. Let's look in this group. Australian Canadian, here he is. I don't like this, so Australian Canadian. New order. I'm going to click up here. I'm going to use the same lot size, check my symbol, market buy. So I do my trade in two pieces. I do the buy and the sell, and then I modify it. So now I'm going to highlight this, go to modify or delete by right-clicking. It remembers what I did last time. It's the same parameters for this trade. And I just want to double check the addition, 84, 66. So if I add 5 to 66, I'm going to go to 71. So 71.2, this is right on the money. So that is good. And then we had one more trade. That was CHF JPY. This guy isn't ripe anymore. He's at minus 87. So he's already actually started to move. So we only have two trades that are still available. On this trade, on the thick orange line trade, some traders actually like to wait till the clock changes and a new candle pops up, and they want to see this number change by 10 to take the trade. It's kind of a matter of just personal preference and what you've experienced success with. When I see this and I see this, it generally works 95% of the time. But we'll stay on for a few more minutes and see if the thick orange line number does change by that 10 that we're looking for to give us that confidence. And then we'll take one more quick scan and see if we see anything else. All right, so the pound dollar is still there. Nope, nothing. -9, but the lines aren't high enough. And if you remember a few minutes when we looked before the line, we had the green up here. The red line hadn't quite hit the blue line yet, but we had 3 of the lines touching or above. -87, not close enough, and nothing else. So we'll just wait a minute and we'll see what happens, and that'll be it for the week. Any questions, comments? Coronavirus got us all kind of staying inside, so minimize your contact with groups. We don't want anybody to get sick. One of the nice things about currency trading is you can do it from home, and you don't have to go out and travel. So we are we've got good fortune that that's what we're doing. All right, we got one more minute here for the candle to change, and what I wanted to do is just see that we did indeed have, see if we get that bump that we're looking for on those two trades that we have. We get a question, if we wait till the closer to the top of the hour, do we get a better positioning? Yes, we do. If you can wait till the top of the hour, you will get a little better positioning, I found. So I took it a little early because I want to make sure we get it in and we had time to do everything. So, but if you can wait, it is better, unless you see the signal that it is actually starting to turn. But on these, all the lines are usually still going down. So 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, so we've got the jump here on, we got a 20 point jump here. So I'm going to expect this to start going around, and let's go look at our Great Britain pound dollar. We got like a 40 point jump here. So we've got all the signals, either way you wanted to do it. It was a good trade. So I'm going to sign off now. I'm going to put them in my live account, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining. Glad you were here. Bye-bye.